The iPhone XS is one of Apple's best designs and one of their best phones ever launched. When it first came out, it was taking what the iPhone X did and refining it. It has different features that we miss even nowadays, like 3D touch, and also has a really nice OLED screen. Design wise, people still hold it in high regard even now in 2025, but how does it actually perform as a daily driver in 2025? And that's what I'm doing in this video. Right now you can get an iPhone XS for very cheap on Facebook Marketplace, around like $150 to $300, depending on whether you get the smaller version or the max version and the storage capacity. So I decided to pick up an iPhone XS that has a weaker battery and a shattered back glass, thinking that I can fix it and replace the battery. So let's get into that experience and how that actually went. Alright, I got a tutorial on, a bucket for the screws and stuff, and this has all the tools. So honestly, I thought replacing the battery would be easier than it is, and as you're gonna see in this video, I have made a big mistake when I was opening the phone, and I separated the screen panel from this internal silver frame that needs to be attached to the screen. So when I put it back together, there was issues with the seal and the screen not sitting properly in the frame, unfortunately. Despite all that, the battery was replaced successfully and it shows 100% capacity, and even though it's displaying that it's not a certified battery, it's still functioning properly. So that is a success either way. Alright, so here's where we're at. Closed up the phone, I finished putting in the new battery, but I kind of messed up. As you saw earlier, I separated the screen from the black frame that goes inside the metal frame, I guess. I tried to put some adhesive that I have, but obviously this is too thick and too wide, so it's not perfect. If you look right here, you can see the light underneath. It's bleeding out because the seal is broken. 3D touch stuff seems to work. The phone seems like it's fine. The back glass, I was gonna replace that, but I'm probably just gonna return that crap because I looked up the videos on how to do it. You have to destroy the glass and then peel up all the individual little pieces of glass. I thought it was just, heat it up, pull it out like modern smartphones. But nah, you gotta literally destroy this. I'm not doing that. So yeah, I'm returning that, and then I'm just gonna take a Z Fold 6 screen protector, cut it up, put it on the back of this. Mainly what I want on the back anyways is just MagSafe, and then I'm gonna use this phone as it is. Alright, moment of truth. I am putting my SIM card into this dangerous iPhone XS that was not worked on properly. Alright, so after everything, it is time to actually use the phone. So first things first, I updated the phone and I checked the RCS and it is working, so I can communicate with my Android people normally. And before I leave the house, since I took the phone off the charger at 8 AM, I used around 2 hours of screen on time, and that brought the battery down to 91%. So it's actually going pretty well and it doesn't look like it will be too bad. But of course I'm going to be using this as my main phone, so I'm going to be doing different things like vlogging, recording B-roll for other videos, and etc. About to head out, you already know, got that MagSafe frame. Let's go. Sun is out, so my Tesla roof is burning hot. It's hot in here. Gotta put the covers back on. But yeah, I'm ready to go. Hopefully I didn't forget anything in this big dirty bag. Alright. Actually, before I head out, I need to take the videos and photos off of this phone, or at least start the process, because I'm dropping this phone off. I'm giving it back to the guy who let me borrow it. Shout out to Assad for allowing me to use his phones for videos. Appreciate it, bro. Performance aside, how do the cameras stack up for a 7-year-old flagship? This is 4K 30 FPS footage from the phone. Despite the modern design, this phone does not have built-in stabilization, so of course the footage is going to be pretty shaky when it's in the car, but let me know what you think about the quality overall though. So at this point, I was at my mother-in-law's house and we were just chilling, and I decided to play some more games. Wild Rift performs pretty fine on this phone. You're able to get 60 FPS. You do experience some stutters and the phone does heat up a lot, and that's to be expected with this 7-year-old phone, but performance is better than what you might think. It's actually very usable. A game like Moko will run completely fine because it's not heavy in particular anyways, but it does show that this phone is still capable of playing games, even games that were released this year. So unfortunately, the phone ended up dying around 4:18 PM, and I was not able to charge it because I forgot to bring a lightning cable. I'm just not used to having those ancient cables around. So It was pretty unfortunate. I had to run back to my Tesla to charge it up wirelessly. In terms of the battery life performance, I feel like it did pretty decent, especially considering the fact that I was hotspotting the whole time when I was driving. So I was recording video periodically and hotspotting, and the phone still lasted until 4 p.m. even with some gaming in. And yeah, honestly, the battery life is not that bad, and I think this phone is pretty much capable of lasting the full day, especially on lighter days. But going on to how the experience is in 2025, this phone actually has a lot of modern iPhone features. Like for example, you can still connect this iPhone XS to your MacBook and control it through your MacBook. So your MacBook can completely scroll through the home screens, open apps all on your Mac, and it's just really cool functionality, even from an older phone like this, like 7 years old, and it's still able to do this. And it's honestly pretty smooth. Like there's no real issues that I've experienced. And you can also still use your iPhone XS as a camera for your Mac. So if you're in a video call or you're recording video or something like that on your Mac, you can use the XS as the camera. So that's pretty sick. So despite being an older phone, it still has modern features like this. It is pretty up to date. It just lost software support this year, and it still has wireless charging, 3D touch, and really good cameras. But let's actually dive into the cameras a little bit. So one of the cool things about the XS is that it allows you to get closer to your subject without losing focus. And this is something that newer iPhones struggle with. And I remember when they made the great switch to a higher megapixel sensor, people were complaining about not being able to focus. I think that was around the iPhone 14 Pros. People were complaining about the minimal focus distance, and the iPhone XS allows you to get really close without having to, switch to macro mode or something like that with lower quality. Obviously, the newer cameras are going to be better in general, but this does lead to a better shooting experience for your average person. But in terms of how the photos and videos look, I'll let you be the judge as I roll some right now. I think even put against newer iPhones like the 15 Pro and the 16 Pro, the iPhone XS still holds its own. It's not going to be as detailed or have as many features like stabilization or zoom cameras, things like that. But I think it's a solid camera system. Even in 2025, you can definitely create content with this if you wanted to. It can still shoot up to 4K 60 FPS. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an ultra wide camera, but it does have an optical 2x zoom camera. And I feel like personally, I use zoom more often than ultra wide cameras, but let me know what you use more. Overall, I think the iPhone XS or XS is very usable in 2025, especially if you upgrade the battery or change your old battery and get a higher storage option, like at least 256 or more. 512 gigs is what I have, and I think that's more than enough for me. I think it's still a really good phone. It's not going to be as fast, it's not going to be as smooth, it's not going to be supported as long. It will still have security updates for a little bit, but software support is done. No more new iOS updates. But in terms of like just performance and like being reliable and everyday phone, I think it's pretty good. Now, will I continue to use this phone? Nah, the answer is no, but I will continue to recommend this phone if you need a cheap phone that works well under like $200, maybe even under $150, depending on where you are. But yeah, that's all for this video. Let me know in the comments below which other phones I should do this for and what you think about the XS in 2025. We out. Peace.